Hey, it's Brian Quain of Reason to Believe. I was recently diagnosed as neurodivergent, and I've been on a journey to understand what this means for me. In the process, I realized there's an opportunity to connect with others who share the same desire to learn more about being on the spectrum. So sit back and enjoy stories from my friends, my guests, myself, and the incredible journeys shared on these episodes. You'll hear about obstacles faced, victories achieved, struggles overcome, but most importantly, our passion for belonging and connection. We are wired differently, but thriving always. Reason to Believe is the reason we are proudly autistic. Now, welcome to the show. Hello, David.
Hello.
Well, actually, let's start with hello, everybody.
Hello.
But hello, David. How the hell have you been? How have you been?
I've been pretty decent. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say B+, A-.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm alive.
I love how I'm putting numbers. I'm like, B+, that has to be a 7 or an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's been a good 6 years since I've seen your face.
Probably.
7?
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
We've seen each other on the television or on the phone screen.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Which is, honestly, I think that's everybody in my life is on here.
Yeah.
I'm holding my phone.
You got to go outside, Brian.
No, the sun is there. There's people.
Go outside.
I don't know if I want to see all those things. I mean, and here's the thing. Slowly, I think I'm trying.
To go outside?
To go outside.
Hell yeah.
To go outside.
Nice.
I walk the dog.
Okay.
Rigby gets his walk. But besides that, it's like, shit, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. And especially since being what's going on with the brain, I think
the tism, as I like to call it.
The tism's like everything like that. Yeah.
Someone also called diagnoses in acronym. An acronym is when you have a series of letters, right? Yeah. One of my friends like a couple months ago was like, I have lots of acronyms. And I was like, that's brilliant. I'm going to start calling diagnoses an acronym.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think that is all people do. It's just like start a collection of acronyms, and I get lost on them. It took me forever, and I still FOMO.
Oh my God!
Fear of
I
missing
didn't
out.
know until like a couple weeks ago. I didn't know what Get Ready With Me was. I would always just see GRWM. I would see like everyone and their mom posting it for like literally years, and I never thought to Google it.
I've never even seen that. That's it.
So you're like, get ready with me. This is my skincare routine, or I'm gonna like put on my like Versace coat with like my polo tank top. Get ready with me.
Never even like. Well, I guess it's the whole. Now I'm like picking it up, going like, Casey says, have an amazing interview. I love you as always, and tell David I say hi. So
hello, hi Casey.
Hello. So yeah, I was like, usually I get that like 20 minutes before. I don't really think of me having to be on any kind of social media platform, and obviously I have to, right? I have to, and that's where a lot of this communication is happening now. More and more is like, all right, dude, you found out about your brain. Because this isn't like the last podcast we were talking about a little bit earlier. It was like with the brewers and the beer, where it's not like, okay, I could just sit back and talk to them and I'll promote when I need to. No, this is also my journey. Like recently diagnosed, finding this out, and it's like, all right, shit, who wants to join me and tear down the walls? Who wants to join me and find out like what the hell's going on and find out what you're going on and things like that, you know? So, and we're going to start there. Where were you? No, actually, I want to start with this. Take 3 or 4 deep breaths. And on the breath out, I want you to say something you're thankful for right now.
I'm thankful for art. That feels very simple, but I don't know. I have had a hard time staying in relationships for most of my life, which I feel like you can probably relate with. And I realized through all of that art has probably been the most consistent thing in my life. And I don't really think about that very often. I hadn't really thought about it until I was breaking up with someone recently. Because I like couldn't function in the short relationship that it was. And something that came up during that was things that I can't run away from. And one of the things that I've seemed to never be able to run away from, whether I realized it or not, was art.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm very thankful for that.
And so was it brought up to your attention that art is maybe like consuming you or something like that? Did that help cause the breakup, or was it just the breakup happened and you're like, Eureka?
I just get very, like I have OCD, speaking of brains and acronyms, and I get very focused on, I mean, anything but bad things. Like, I'll like notice like acne on someone's face, and then I'm like, oh God, did they have a disease?
Right.
Like, are they dying? Or like maybe someone won't look like the idealized version of a partner that I had in my brain.
Oh my God, of course.
And I'm just like, well, they're not the right person.
Right.
And my brain will obsess over it to the point of like, this isn't it. Everything in me needs to run away. So that was this past thing. And as I was just like talking with this person about like just ending this relationship abruptly after it had been going really well, I was like, man, I always run from relationships and I don't know why. I was like, I guess that's probably why I'm an artist, because that's probably the one thing that I don't feel the need to run away from. If anything, I just run fully into it when things are going bad, even if I don't realize it or not.
Overthinking when it comes to relationships is huge. I mean, even the first year when Casey and I got together, man, did I not realize how much I was overanalyzing everything.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of butting heads, huge butting heads, and it maybe was that whole water, oil, whatever that is, where like we weren't going together, but maybe it was that whole neuromix, right? Maybe I was just so not understanding who I was.
Yeah.
And yeah, when it comes to relationships, oh man, totally. I'm the worst double-edged sword. I'm so not thinking I deserve it.
For sure, definitely.
But then at the same time, I'm over analyzing what they're doing, that it's like, no, I don't think this is right. I don't think this is where I need to be. That's some scary shit. That's scary. That is scary. Yeah. Yeah.
And usually what that will happen after there's like, I don't want to say like a perfect moment because nothing's perfect, but you're just like having really good time with a person and like everything is good and it's like, oh, I love you. And it's not even like that's coming from a genuine place, like, or what you think is genuine. And then for me, it's like, there can be like a half turn of like the tiniest hairpin and I'm like, oh, everything's wrong.
Yeah. And that keeps me up at night.
And then I just flee.
Yeah.
Because like suddenly in my brain, everything is not how it's supposed to be. Even though less than 24 hours before, I was like, man, I want to spend every day with you.
Damn.
And then
how long ago was this relationship?
It's still happening now. Like we're officially dating.
Okay.
Yeah. So like it's been good. Like it's only been the last couple months.
Okay.
And
what was the last favorite thing that you had with that person?
I mean, waking up together is pretty rad.
Yeah, that's so easy. Like, I love that, dude. That's awesome. Yeah.
I think that's been like we've just been staying at each other's houses a ton, and like, I don't know, the last week or so, like when we haven't been together and I've woke up, I've been like kind of confused that person wasn't next to me. And I don't know. I don't want to say I've never felt that before, but like, kind of like that it feels odd not to have a person around, not even like out of obligation or familiarity, but just because like you've developed a closeness with someone.
But your senses go over time too. You wake up and it's first like sight. You're hearing them. They're breathing next to you. You're smelling them because if they're that close to your face, it might be their bad breath, morning breath, or it just might be the fact that there's like the hair conditioner that they put on earlier that day.
For sure.
I love when the senses go and you're like, that person is there. That person is there. And that's a comfort like no other. Yeah. Like honestly, like I love that feeling. I do. I love the feeling of having that person next to you because also that's how you're starting your day. Yeah. Yeah. And that's important. That is important. Coffee's there. It's coming right around the bend, but it starts with Casey being right there next to me. Yeah. And I know, I get that. 100% I get that. And how long is the relationship going now? How long have you been together?
It's been like 2 months.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Just,
good.
Just a couple months. Yeah.
I love that. Good.
So not very long at all.
Keep it going. Keep it going. Because you have a genuine smile on your face. You're talking about it, and I'm going, and I'm like, shit, David, I feel it. I feel it, and I love that.
Yeah, no, it's only been a couple months, which is like, kind of strange, but I don't know. It's kind of felt like a very long time, but not in a bad way. I just feel like we just know each other and just naturally coexist. And
good.
Yeah.
When you know, you know. When you know, you know.
So,
yeah.
I haven't died.
So please don't. Not yet. I mean, you're going to.
I don't know why I equate relationships with dying. Probably because I'm just scared of them. But yeah, this has been nice.
No, I'll be honest. Relationships. The one thing that I heard recently is that, you know, I'm afraid of relationships because I'm afraid to love, and that's a huge thing. People thinking of like, I want to put myself out there. Somebody deserves me. But then when you start to like say, hey, this is it, I'm in love. It's like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready for love though. That's the L word. Have you said it yet? Have you said it yet?
Yeah, okay. But it's like, definitely have. But I realized, I don't know. I can like meet someone on the corner and have a meaningful interaction with them and be like, dude, I love you.
Yeah.
And I think that's opened up a lot of like doors of like, well, like to me, not from me, like hearing it from like the person that I'm with, like they're just like, I can't just say that because that has other extensions to it.
I get it.
Like it's more than just like a word or a feeling. Like to me, if I hear that, that means like you're like committed and like in this thing.
Yeah.
Like I don't just take those words like lightly. And so it's like I've had to like, I don't know, almost like not say that and like show up through like actions.
Okay. Which actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
So you might as well.
And so that's interesting. Like, because normally I just like.
But you're like me. I say love as if like, let's go.
Like I'm like, why wouldn't you tell someone?
Yeah, why wouldn't
like,
you tell them?
Not even in a romantic sense, like anyone. Like
love can be on so many. Like, do I love this water right now? No, I mean it's cold in here. It's okay. Nice. But like, if we were sitting outside recording, I love the shit out of this water because I need it. You know. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I love it. Like love is a great word. It's a great word.
And so like I've kind of been refraining from that. Not to say that won't happen. Like it's a normal thing. But I don't know. I've been thinking, I'd never really thought about the seriousness of it because I have lots of people that I know, even people that I've known for years, that I've been like, dude, I love you. And they don't say anything back. And I've been always like, been very perplexed by that. And that can feel shitty. And maybe it is. Like maybe they have some like trauma they need to work through or something. But like, I also think that it's, I don't know, I've realized through this that it's like different for everyone.
It is.
Like it doesn't mean that you don't have feelings of love or care back towards someone, but it's like to some people that is like really serious and there is like a heavy permanence. And I don't think that I've realized that until
it all
lately.
comes back. It all comes back to how I think we were treated as kids, our parents, right? So what did mom and dad not do for this person that maybe they could have felt more love? Because here's the thing. I think it kind of was reversed in mine is my dad died when I was 7. My mom, until just not, I'm not going to say up until recently, but I kind of used my mom's like abuse, physical and maybe verbal abuse growing up as a kid because I had an older sister, a mom, and it was one of those things of like, now I want to say I love you to everybody because I want to keep them. You know, but then at the same time, I should have been like, no, love sucks. Like, does mom love me? Does this love me? I don't know. But I mean, before Casey and I ever met face to face, I'll be honest, I knew there was love there. Like I was like, yeah, I love this person more than anything. And there was so much I was going through in my life at that time that it took us months, even though we only lived about 3-4 miles from each other. It took us about 2 months until we met face to face. We were talking 2 years, and then it was like, okay, we really want to get to know each other and meet. But it was one of those things that's like, no, let's wait. And we just kept it that way. And I was like, yeah, I love this person. And we never even met face to face yet. That was healthy. That was good.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Be honest. Like it was one of those things. So
yeah.
How was growing up though for you? Where were you born?
I was born in Orlando.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally right up the street from about a mile and a half from where we're sitting now.
Yeah.
At Lake Lucerne Hospital.
Oh,
which
get out. Okay, so yeah, right there.
no longer exists. It's something else. It's not a
Right,
hospital.
yeah.
It's still standing there next
It's
to Lake
still
Lucerne.
standing there. Yeah.
But they're no longer birthing children there.
So all this that's happening in, well, I'm not saying happening in Orlando, but like, I feel like you're like this, not godfather, but many people I know are never born in Orlando. They move here. Oh, I've been here for like 20, 25 years.
I can probably count on one hand the amount of people that I know that like were actually born here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So I would take it personal if anybody said anything bad about Orlando. If I were you, I'd be like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably. It's not like one of my favorite places.
Okay,
like,
so where would you move if you could? Where would be a place that you can go to?
Like, I mean, I like being here. Don't get me wrong, Orlando
Sure.
people. I love you. There's the L word again.
It's a good
But
word.
it is. It is a good word. Yeah, I really want to move to France.
Wow, that's good. That's
yeah,
really good.
I also like. I hesitate to say this sometimes because it's like. It can feel like selfish or like crazy, but it's like I would really ultimately like to be able to just like have houses in a couple places.
That's not a
Like,
selfish thing at all. There's houses everywhere.
Yeah,
if you
that's
have
true.
if you have the means and the
Yeah.
finances and you want to do it, do it.
Yeah,
Do it. Like honestly, it's not
like
a bad
France
idea.
and Paris would be up there. I've probably spent like 5 weeks there altogether over the last couple years, and like I like it a lot. It's very nice. This I don't want to say the standard of living seems to be better, but like kind of. People seem to be much more healthier.
Healthier.
Like
mentally,
in all-
physically, yes.
Like I don't know. That's not the sole reason, and like I realize that this like can be. Questionable. Like I guess I'm like slowing down because I'm like, oh, I'll get canceled, but like whatever. Like I think the thing that I noticed the last like maybe the second to last time I went to France and came back was we got off the airplane in North America in Canada, and suddenly I saw people everywhere that were in wheelchairs, that were using canes, that were like severely obese, like that like had like physical ailments, like it seemed like every other person. And we see that day to day here, and I never think about it. And like being there, like yes, ailments do exist, but it's like went to multiple countries and cities, and like I did not see the same amount of like
You won't.
ailments
Yeah, exactly.
at all.
You won't.
Like
Yeah.
and it doesn't mean they like didn't exist. And that just like blew my mind, where I was just like, what the fuck are we like?
You're seeing 3
Like,
out of 10 people in America.
I
that
was
are
just
in
like,
that.
what are we doing here?
Yeah, and then 1
Like-
out of maybe 60 over
Yes,
there. Like
and
I get
it's not
that.
like
Yeah.
I'm like
Yeah.
like being like ableist or like maybe a little bit, but like or like I don't know, like or like fat shaming people or like
No, and here's
it's
the
like
thing,
I
you
have my
mentioned-
own shit. Like
Yeah, we all do.
like
yeah.
that's the purpose of like this podcast and like so many other things. But like I remember just like not being consciously aware when I was over there of like how we're all just kind of like dying and then coming back and like literally just seeing like physically like one like hurting person after another and like one ailment. Again,
Yeah.
not that like people don't have shit. Like it's like life is life. There's always going to be things.
Always.
But like that really blew my mind, and I don't think that's the sole reason for like wanting to move. I don't even know why I brought that up. Other
Because
than
you have
it's just, like,
art. Well, no. Because here's the thing. It's scary right now here. Let's just be honest. So the fact that you're going to say, Paris, France, or you're just like thinking that, the first thing I thought of was like, yeah, get the hell out of the country.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of the country. Like, honestly, is it better everywhere? No.
Yeah.
Things are kind of weird, scary. But at the same time, it could be a lot better in other countries right now because, healthcare is definitely needed.
Yeah.
And people do eat better when you walk a good 8 blocks in, let's say, Paris, France, it's a lot more cafes, it's a lot more mom and pop little restaurants and things like that than it is every block having a Subway.
Yeah.
And I was so sick of seeing these commercials. We always have FXX on, which is Fox's animated it's their animation channel. And in a 5 to 6 minute block of commercials, you'll have that Arby's commercial, Popeyes commercial, Burger King commercial, maybe twice in one sitting. That's what's being passed on to us to be like, that's what you need to eat to go, go, go. And they always say the word go. And that's going to trigger someone to be like, oh, I'm on the go. I better go get something quick, fast.
It's funny. Like, I don't know. I'm like 1,000% addicted to my phone and Instagram, like everyone. And I don't think that's a thing just based on countries. But it's funny, like, I think the last time I was there, like, we met up with a friend at a bar who's French. And he was literally telling us that it's, like, illegal for like, if you have, like, an actual, like, corporate job or, like, a set job, like, you're not freelance, it's illegal for, like, your company to email you on the weekend. Like, and I haven't, like, researched that. Like,
no,
maybe that was,
it makes sense. 100% makes sense.
But he was like, they can, like, get in trouble or, like, fined. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, yeah, like, we're literally just, like, constantly going and grinding. Like,
always.
Like, it's just it never ends. And in some ways you have to.
Casey will get a text or, like, a call of somebody that doesn't even work there. It might be like, hey, the cleaning crew has to do this, and it's a Saturday or a Sunday. Yeah,
no, literally this past Sunday, my girlfriend and I were somewhere. Maybe we were even at home. I don't know. I think we were, like, out walking somewhere, and she has notifications on her Apple Watch, which drives me insane. Every time I see anyone with, like, Apple Watch notifications, I'm like, how do you live like that?
How do you live? Because here's the thing. You'll see and this is probably going to ruin it too, when you see people do this.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yep, they cover it. That's how it quiets the notification. They cover it. And I'm like, how do people live?
She was like, oh, I'm getting emails from work. And I was like, on Sunday? Like, and she's like, yeah, there's all these things. And, like, she started telling me about it. And I was just like, that's fucking crazy. Like, crazy. And again, I know it's normal. Like,
and that is the norm, but it's not normal. It's not normal. Like, shouldn't be.
I was just like, that's insane. Like, I was like, your boss is, like, emailing you, like, on a Sunday, but it's like, I do the same thing. Like, someone will fucking email me or text me at 11 o'clock at night, and I'm like, gotta get this so I can, like, get my bag the next day.
But this is so we're sitting right now in your, I guess, and we'll just say real time, right? This is like what you're doing. This is your latest project. What do you call them when it comes to, like, a photo?
I'd say it's like a current project, body of work. I mean, in this case, it's an exhibit. Like, we're
right, perfect exhibit. Yes.
Yeah, I guess
that's what I should have called it. You're right.
What I've been. I mean, I don't think there's one right, or I'm not like, oh, you need to call it this.
Yeah, but honestly, when it comes to, like, an artist, you like, it's an exhibit. It really is. We're sitting in the middle of it. This is your livelihood. And here's the thing. Let's go back to the beginning of this conversation when it comes to creating and, like, an art. That doesn't turn off.
Definitely, for sure.
For sure. Yeah. So hopefully the 9 to 5 that goes on in someone else's business that I don't own, like, let's say I'm working some other business, I don't own that company, it's not artistic in any way, I'm just getting paid to do 9 to 5. I'm shutting that shit down when I'm at home. Yeah. That's the way it should be. But when it comes to this, oh man, you can't shut that off. I can't shut this podcast off.
For sure, definitely.
Yeah. I wake up at 3 a.m. going, do I look at my phone right now to see if someone's messaging? No, dude, just go back to bed. What are you going to do, talk to them? No. Yeah. No, it's like they're way in bed.
The podcast right now.
The dog's going to look at me like, dude, just go back to sleep. I'm like, Rigby, calm down, buddy. And then, like, Casey's snoring next to me. She's going to kill me. She doesn't snore. She snores.
My girlfriend snores too. Sorry, babe. We both do.
It's that breathing.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with it. It's awesome.
I also snore. It's fine.
It's the senses. I'm hearing it. I'm like, good. You're still living.
You're still alive. Yeah. Haven't died. Check.
Yeah. So you're born and raised in Orlando. Any brothers, sisters?
I have 2 half brothers.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And so you were born to amazing parents. How'd that go as you were being raised as a kid?
Yeah, my childhood was interesting. My parents were never married, which I feel like is pretty normal. But I'm like, my mom is 1,000% going to listen to this because she listens to all my stuff.
I love that though, man. I love that.
But God, they were together. My parents were together for a long time, but my brothers, maybe I'll tell my mom actually not to listen to this, but my brothers are always like, Dad was just slinging dong. Like, he was just fucking everything. And
when did you find out that though? When did you find out that?
I don't think that's entirely true, but he got multiple women pregnant outside of not being married.
Okay.
Within like a 5-year time span. So I mean, he was doing some work, you know. But
so have you met anybody outside of that, like out of this immediate family? Has anybody ever come up and saying, hey, you may be like so and so's son?
No, definitely not that far. I'm like partially kidding, but it's like I don't know. I feel like there's I'm like mostly kidding saying that, but I still feel like my dad was just trying to sleep with people, which I get. It's like a human thing.
So you just recently lost your father, though. Is this okay to speak about?
Is it a year ago?
Yeah, a year ago, right?
So, yeah.
Is this something where you're like, hey, my dad did this, because it's like, you know what? Like, shit, he was a cool guy. Here's a joke about my dad, or like, how are you doing with all of that? If that's a question I'm allowed to ask.
I don't know. I think that I definitely make jokes about it for sure. Like, this is horrible. This is like segueing from the conversation a little bit, but I'll get back to the actual answer. There was a dad themed bar hop, and it was like, wear your best dad attire. And I like have a group text with some friends, and I was like, I'm gonna show up dressed as an urn because he got cremated, and the people are gonna be like, why are you dressed as an urn? And be like, because my dad is dead. Wah, wah. Like.
I haven't had a dad in 43 years. Yeah. So the one thing, if anybody asked me to do that,
like you're going to be a ghost. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like that would be me going like, hey, I'm allowed to be this.
Why is he dressed up as a ghost? Like,
43 days, 43 months, or 43 years. We have to actually get by. That
led me to the place of like, oh, am I not like coping with it? But it's like, I don't know, I've just made jokes about everything. Yeah, so I mean, I think it comes in waves. Like sometimes I definitely get sad, or there's like things that I wish I could like tell or show him, because like every time something big would happen, I would like talk with him.
So you were close.
We were definitely close for sure. Like I don't think I realized it until after he passed, but I definitely say like my dad was like one of my like closest friends. I don't think I thought of that in the like as it was happening, but after I was just like, oh yeah, like I treated that like a good friend. Like every time something would happen, I would reach out to my dad, and my mom too, but for sure my dad more than anyone. And so those are the things that are weird now. Like, I saw one of my friends is a tattoo artist, and she showed me yesterday this tattoo artist who did a tattoo on someone of 2 of Snoopy's dog houses set up like the Twin Towers, and he's dressed as the Red Baron, and he's flying into his 2 dog houses, and it was like, never forget this day. And this tattoo artist tattooed that onto someone, and it was like perfectly drawn, but I was like, my dad is like the most like American, like maybe not, I don't know, it's weird, because my dad also was like definitely an illegal immigrant, but also just like loved America and Donald Trump, and was like all about the American dream.
Okay.
But I was like, I would have immediately sent that to my dad, and he would have thought that was literally the funniest thing in the entire world. And like, sure, I could send that to other people, but they like wouldn't think of it near as the same. And so there's things like that where I'm just like, oh man, that's kind of a bummer.
I'm glad he could do that, though, because honestly, I was just talking to my buddy Rich earlier today, and the fact that if we were to show 100 people that never saw the movie Blazing Saddles, ever.
I've never seen it, but I'm also still a child.
But the movie makes fun of anything that's racial or anything like that. But that movie would be canceled by 80 out of that 100 people. They'd be like, They'd walk out. They would walk out instantly.
Yeah.
The people that could still watch something that Mel Brooks has done and be like, you know what? And it opened up a whole discussion about racial equality and stuff like that back in the day. But it's one of those things where if you show somebody now and they don't know the context of it, they'd be offended. The people that I like to keep in my, I guess in my, not my wheel, but like to keep them around me, are the ones that could understand, like, we do know when to put your defenses up.
For sure.
But please, at the same time, laugh.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Laugh.
For
like,
sure.
It's not all of our brains that created it, but at the same time, my brain, first thing when you look at it, goes, okay, shit, that was actually funny.
Yeah,
and you go,
definitely.
but then I'm not going to put on the disguise and be like, oh no, I'm so freaking offended that this is this. There's a lot that I'm offended about right now.
Definitely.
That's out of my control. An administration that's doing that, but me, I want to surround myself about more or less happiness and things that I could actually just be like, shit, never thought of it that way. That is pretty funny, you know? So, yeah. Like the fact that your dad can laugh, like, to be a patriot. But here's the thing, an illegal immigrant, cheers to him. Like, that's awesome. To love where you are, even though technically now a country that probably wouldn't accept him.
Definitely.
Oh, like, yeah.
It is pretty insane.
It's insane.
But yeah, I don't know. We like need to be able to laugh at things, even like cultural things. I feel like
we're forgetting to laugh. We are.
Yeah, like, and I get like you were saying, there's a lot of atrocity and things that aren't good, but like sometimes the horrible things are kind of funny. Like, or like.
We all say we have a sick sense of humor.
Yeah,
I have a dry sense of humor. Then use it. Use it. As long as you're putting sense of humor in there and you're not like...
For sure.
Like, oh, I have a dry sense of killing dogs. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, ooh, that's a dry, shitty thing to have. But if you're going to say sense of humor after it, at least you have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
At least you're striving for some sort of happiness.
Yeah.
And that's been hard for, like... I think Casey said it last night. She's like, babe, that was a joke. And I was like... Shit, you just actually said it not even like an hour ago when we were setting up. You're like, oh, you laugh. And I was like, oh, shit, man, I'm forgetting how to laugh right now. Like, I really am. Yeah. And it's scary. Like, my brain is like, go, 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 go. And it's like, things are pretty freaking scary right now.
Yeah.
And it's out of my control. That's the scary thing, too. When shit's out of your control, yeah. I hate that feeling.
Yeah, there's like, I don't know. Again, this will like get me like canceled. I need to just stop saying that. But like, speaking of this podcast, so like, I've been diagnosed with ADHD and like a bunch of other acronyms. But originally, a doctor suggested that I might be on the spectrum, and it was because my relationship was like ending, and I was just like saying crazy shit all the time, like just without like thinking. Like, I say crazy shit. Like, I don't know. I've lost a lot of friends and relationships. Because I'll just be at dinner and I'm just like, hey, you want to fuck? And I'm
okay.
Like, what? Like, and I'm like, no, I'm kidding. Like, it was a joke. I'm just looking for attention. But I didn't feel that need to explain that. And I was just like, I thought we were just like all friends here. Like, I'm not like sitting down with someone that I just met. Like, a lot of times these are like people that like I've known for years, but still it's just like found out that wasn't cool. You can't make those jokes. And so like I had this therapist, which was like a great guy, but he was like, hey, like, have you ever considered you might be on the spectrum? And that was part of like I think about this now, and she'll probably never listen to this, and if she does, whatever. Like, because like we're friends.
Okay.
But like my ex-wife, like, I remember there was a point where she was like, man, like, I'll at least know there's like reasoning behind like a lot of your like actions and like the things you've like said if we find out like you're on the autism spectrum. And like that would give me like more drive to like work things out and stay. And in my head, I'm like, that sounds like a horrible reason to stay in a relationship, but like, what do I know? Like,
no, it is. It actually really kind of is. Because there is that whole love someone for who they are.
I bring this up because I ended up like going through, going through that whole testing thing, and they were just like, no, like, you're not like autistic, but like you have really bad ADHD and a bunch of other things, and that can affect like still like outbursts and how you're communicating and just literally just doing things for attention. But all that to say, like,
my needle is still going towards like the spectrum, but I get
like,
it. Yeah.
One of my friends and I just like her partner is. There's part of me that's thought about like going in like doing it again, but like because this was like years ago now. But like her partner is like actually like autistic and like I don't know, being like neurodivergent, like and having all these other like neurological issues, like. We'll just regularly joke about autism. Like, we fucking send each other memes. Like, it's just like, it's funny.
It's
like,
funny. It's funny.
just like, that has ruined my fucking life. Like, the fact that I, like, sat there with a therapist and, like, someone was willing to stay with me because they thought I was autistic, like that's fucking crazy. Like,
crazy.
I'm not gonna make, like, I'm gonna make jokes about it. Like, it's forever going to be funny. Like, I'm forever just gonna be like, I might, like, doctors thought I was autistic. I wasn't. What the fuck do you do with that? Am I just like a moron? Like, who knows? Like,
there's that. Yes.
Like, yeah.
Yes,
It's like, it's just like, I'm forever like, and it's again, I really only have the one friend that like I do that with, or maybe like my girlfriend, but it's like, and now whoever listens to this podcast, but like, like,
they're all taking
it's
notes.
just like, we're forever going to make autism jokes. Like,
yeah. And at this point now, it was crazy when I first really thought about it. I was like, maybe I'm on my own island. Oh, no. And thank you, RFK, for saying whatever the fuck you said, because now it went from like 1 to 35, or maybe on the spectrum. Then it's 1 to 33. Now it's 1 out of 31.
Yeah.
And more diagnoses are happening daily. Yeah. And it's like, all right, now if you need that hug, we're here. Yeah. But hey, by the way, nudge, nudge, laugh, laugh. Like, honestly, Casey sends me shit all the time. She's like, sure, I'm going to get maybe 4 out of 5 of them are going to be like, well, this is proof about this, and we need to talk about this.
This isn't a joke. This is reality.
This is reality. But then there is also that one where it's like, oh, shit, did they really? That's actually funny. And at the same time, when I do my little video segments and stuff, I will throw a joke in there. Yeah. Like 100%, because it's like, man, I mean, let's just be honest. The one night I did, I think it was last Thursday. Yeah, I broke down and cried on a video. Oh, shit. And as I never hit stop, I thought people are going to be like, man, maybe don't be that vulnerable.
Yeah.
No, people were actually very kind. Holy shit, were they kind. Because, God, if I did that back as a kid, my mom would have been like, no. Growing up, no. So where does all this attention that you need, where do you think that stems from? Where do you think that comes from? Childhood?
I don't know.
Were you rambunctious as a kid though?
I think it's maybe like, I was definitely rambunctious. I got put on Ritalin when I was fucking.
Were you?
Literally like 3 years old.
Do you mind if we get into that? Or is that like?
I also got diagnosed with ADHD when I was a child, but then I ignored it. I was like, nothing's wrong with me.
My mom did. So yeah,
no, my parents didn't ignore it. I just kindly asked my mom. I kind of lied, actually. Like I was like ADHD medication makes me feel weird. Do I have to keep taking it? And she was like, no, it makes you feel like weird. Sure. Like she didn't like fight me on it. I think if it were like my kid. Like, I don't want to be forceful, but I see as an adult that stuff is really helpful. But I also don't think that, again, this is this could be like a hot button, like, thing. But I don't think any 3-year-old should get diagnosed with, like,
Amen.
ADHD. Like, I get if you're, like, non, verbal or, like, have, like, I don't know, problems, like, literally talking, like, but I'm just like, no, dude, like, you're fucking 3 years old. Like, I might have been 4 or 5, but it was pretty young. I was for sure in preschool. I have a specific memory of, so I had to have been 4, because we started kindergarten when I was 5. I have specific memory of my preschool, having to take medication at school or before the preschool, like before starting, of going to therapy, of getting tested. And that's just because I was fucking wild.
Me too.
But it's also just like, and I don't fault my parents for this, like, I had a conversation with my dad one time because he was like always like, not always, but he was definitely pretty physically like abusive for a lot of like my childhood, and then at a certain point, like the tables just kind of like flipped where he just like stopped and he got nice. Like, was
it when you were acting up or acting like?
Yeah, like
same,
or just like
same with me. My mom was very
like, but he also had 2 brothers who were also just like, we would just like egg each other on, so it was just like nonstop just shenanigans, and like a year before he died, like, or maybe even closer to that, I just asked him, like, I was like, hey, like, why was it like that? Like, I wasn't like mad or anything. I was just like genuinely curious. I was like, you're not like that now. Like, and he was just like, you guys, he was like, this isn't like anyone's fault, but like, you literally just like drove me insane. He was like, there's 3 of you. Or like, sometimes it was just like never ending that like, I would just snap and like literally like get to my wit's end because like 24/7, 3 of you were like the Animaniacs. Like,
That's a great,
and
great
I don't know if he
visual.
said that exactly, but it's like, might as well have said that. Like, and he wasn't being mean to us or anything. He was just like, so I'd fucking snap and literally grab the nearest thing to me and start like beating you guys with it to like get you to fucking stop.
There
like,
it is, yeah.
And he was just like, but eventually like we got past that because like you became adults and like there was nothing like constantly like torturing me. And he was like, I'm not saying that's right, but I was like, yeah, that like, I mean, it makes sense. Like if I had 3 kids, like that were all like probably like
I wouldn't be able to do it
on the spectrum in some like sort, like as a single dad, like I'd probably lose this. Like I'd probably do the same. I don't know, but all that to like take back to the thing of like being a kid that's like 3 years old with ADHD. Like I don't fault my parents, but it's like kids are just crazy. Like their brains aren't developed.
Yeah, there's a
like,
slow down on that.
Like putting them on Ritalin or anything. Like
I was lucky. My mom said no when I was about 8, 9, or 10. That happened, and my mom was like, no.
But then
no.
at the same time, becoming an adult, like I'm just like I thought I was invincible, and like was just like, no, I don't need medication. I've gone my whole life.
You're right. That's how my frame of mind was until it was like, no, you should try it, and I did, and I was just like, okay. Did I feel any different? Yeah, in the beginning of it, I did. I was taking it, and I was like, okay. I felt it like day one. I was like, whoa, things are further now, and I could handle where I am. I'm in like a Target, and I'm going, okay, I'm not so anxious. I'm not freaking out. I'm at Winter Park Biscuit Company, and there's only like one person at a time at the register, but people are like trying to butt you, and I was like, no, I'm good. I could breathe, and I could tell like this is the menu, this is the register. I'm okay. Things like that. It was just like, yeah, I was able to breathe. When did you realize a camera was going to end up in your hand, though?
I think in 2011.
How old were you?
I was 21.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So, maybe 20. No, that's not correct. I was 19.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 19.
And what was your first camera?
A Pentax K1000 film camera.
No shit. Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. Still use it pretty regularly.
Good.
Like the same
good.
camera.
Yeah, you should. As you should.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Good.
Yeah.
Good. And what do you use now?
I have a Canon 5D Mark IV.
Last time I used one was the Mark III. And I love that.
I have
Mark
one
III.
of those too as
yeah,
like a backup
love
camera.
that Mark III. That was the greatest thing.
Yeah, and then I use a bunch of random cameras, little point and shoot film cameras, Polaroid cameras, my phone. This whole installation was all taken on photos.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it though. I love all the black and white in here. It's just so awesome. This is so awesome. And so when you started taking photos, did it calm you down in the brain a little, or was it just no, right?
No, I mean like...
Good answer. Let's just be honest. Let's be honest, yeah.
Yeah, I was just interested in art and creativity. And... yeah, I just wanted to make cool things. Like I just saw it as a tangible way to be able to make something because I was never good at art or music or anything like that. But with photography, it seemed like you could just snap a picture or like press a button and
the one frame story is being told.
Yeah, I don't even think it was much about story as much as just like I saw that you could make cool things. And I was just like, I want to do that.
I love that.
Yeah.
My dad was a photographer.
Oh, cool.
So if this is true, and I do believe it is, because of what my grandfather did in Miami Beach, but when the Beatles, he was about 14, 15, when the Beatles touched down into America. They went to the Fontainebleau in Miami Beach. My dad was there while the photographer was taking photos. My dad was there while they were in the pool. That famous picture of the Beatles with their heads above water. My dad was there for that photo shoot, is what I heard.
Crazy.
So yeah.
Wild.
And so he was a photographer, and I only have a few of his photos left in my life. I don't know where the other ones went. And it's just one of those things, like, again, I was a freaking baby. I was 7 years old when he died. And so, yeah, it was one of those things, like, I take pride in photography.
Yeah.
I love it. I love what you do. You are someone in Orlando that I've always been like, keep it up, dude. Keep it up, dude. Keep it up, dude. And it's like, again, seeing you after all these years, it's one of those things where I'm still like, man, I like keeping tabs on people, but man, to get out and do something, that's hard for me. It's really hard for me because it's just like, I love being around people, but I don't like people, if that makes sense.
I get that.
Yeah. It's rough.
I like people, but I definitely an introvert in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Only have a certain capacity each day where I'm like, I need to go and unwind a little. Yeah.
And with photography, is it something you feel that's easy for you, or is it like, you take a photo, you have to edit? Like, how do you feel when it comes to like the whole process of taking photos?
The process of taking photos is not difficult. Like, probably the most, I don't even want to say annoying part, but like difficult part is probably editing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of photos that I've just taken and then never did anything with them. They're just still on a hard drive somewhere. Or I have like dozens of rolls of film that I've never developed. They're just sitting in a closet.
You think you'll ever touch those?
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Definitely. And I do like little by little. Like occasionally I'll grab a roll and like send it into a lab or like
nice.
Go back to like an old like file or something. So yeah, I definitely do that. But yeah, I'd say there's nothing really like difficult about like photography itself. Like the biggest thing is just like the constant unknown. Yeah, this has just been like a very like slow month with like work, and it's like this is like nothing new, but it's like gone behind on bills and like
life. Yeah,
just life. Like I've just been like, well, like what the fuck is the next thing? Like I literally like I have 2 exhibits right now. Like I have an exhibit in a museum, and I have this exhibit here, and like I'm about to do a couple other exhibits, but it's like I currently have like literally no money, and that's not me complaining, but it's more so just like what the fuck is going on, because like everyone is paying attention.
I love that though.
But like,
but yeah, no, I get it.
But also like,
but
like, what do I like do? Like a lot of, I don't want to say a lot of things aren't working like financially, but like it kind of feels like that, and I feel like that's probably. And I'm not just alone in that. Like I talk with other like people that like are career artists. Like there's ups and downs. I'd say that's more difficult than like the actual like art. Like it's easy for me to make things. It's just like sitting in the unpredictability of like not knowing like when like the next thing is going to come. And I don't know. That's strange. Like
I feel recently. It's funny to me. I'm sitting here, and I could say this because I worked at a film festival for 20 years. So I met how many celebrities yearly, and I see these photos. But when I see what you took recently with Christina Ricci, or Mia Farrow, those are awesome.
It's crazy.
Those are beautiful.
And it's also just insane.
Yeah, beautiful backdrop, right? You have the Enzion backdrop behind them.
But I mean, like, just even the idea of that is insane. Like,
how does that feel though? To be able to say, like,
I don't know. I don't really feel too much, really, ever.
Okay.
I don't know if that. Well, I feel lots of things.
Right. I know you do. I feel
you do. Too much. But I don't. As far as like success, like the museum thing was cool. I guess for like context, I have 20 there's no way to explain it, I guess, without some like context. I kind of as a joke, also just as a response to slow times and not really knowing what was like next, I made all these missing posters of myself.
I saw that.
And like I hung like hundreds of them around downtown. Didn't go very well because people took it seriously. Not everyone, but like
no, yeah.
people were like contacting my ex-girlfriends.
Shit. So not well thought
people
out
were like
based on
coming up to me on the street as I was hanging them and asking, not realizing it was me on the photo, and just seeing. No, it's funny. It is very funny. Just seeing like. I thought it was funny, but I also felt bad in the moment because like I literally had a guy come up to me on Orange Avenue as I was hanging up, and he was like, man, like,
oh shit,
is that your like relative or like friend? And I just couldn't even say it was a joke. I was just like, yeah, man. Like, I just kind of went with it. Like, because I just felt like a piece of shit that it was like, and that wasn't like my intention. Like, I had another guy come up to me and he was like, when was the last time you saw him? And at that point, I just like fucking like I jumped through the like fourth wall or whatever it was, and I was like, it's me. This is a joke. And the guy was just like, aha, and like laughed. But at first, he was like, when did you see him last? And so like that didn't like really set well with me because that wasn't my intention originally. And so I kind of just like flipped it on its head. And I actually asked ChatGPT. I was like, what's a way to make this funny and not have it being serious? And it was like, what if you did Wanted for Too Much Fun? And I was like, that's perfect.
And there it went. Yeah.
I was
so
like,
that's
thank the robot gods.
Okay. Yeah.
So like I literally just like made like hundreds of these and put them all over town, and like in like a matter of like 2 days of like putting them up, like hundreds of new people like followed me on Instagram and like were like commenting and like reposting them, and I was just like, fuck yeah, like I'm gonna keep doing this. And that was before this current real time exhibit that we're sitting in started. And so I just like kept at it, and the curator from the Orlando Museum of Art came to this exhibit, and she was like, why didn't you put one of the signs in hide one of the signs in the museum? And I was like, what do you mean? Why didn't I was like, I'm not gonna I'm not just gonna like show up like and just like
self-promote.
I was like, it's an institution. No, I don't care about self-promotion. Self-promote everywhere.
I was gonna say that's what you did with every flyer.
Like, but yeah. But I was just like, this is like an institution. I'm not gonna be like disrespectful and just like put one of my posters up in the museum. And she was like, well, like let's do a secret exhibit. Like you can hide them in the museum. And I was like, all right, like that's cool. And so that ended up coming to fruition, and I was very excited, and I had a lot, like back to the feelings thing, like I was very excited, and I had a lot of moments where I was like, man, this is insane. Like,
yeah.
But like, I still haven't felt the gravity of things a lot, of just being like, oh man, like most people don't get to just like do exhibits of their work. Like we're currently like sitting in a month-long, this real-time thing is like a month-long residency that like I was given to like display my work and like have people in and kind of work out of. And I was just like, I don't realize that a lot of the time that like these aren't normal things. And I'm just like, oh, well, it's another day. And one of my friends has been like kind of helping me like formulate how to share what could be like viral content on the internet. And like, that's not really my thing. I'm not like super into that, but like,
I get it.
We've like brainstormed like potential ideas, because he's like a full-time content creator, has done that for like years, like has like hundreds of thousands of like subscribers like on YouTube, and like that's what he does. So he's just been like, man, like there are ways to make like videos that people will grab onto no matter what. And part of it was he was just like, man, like you should do a video. And I didn't like, it didn't click with me till he like wrote this out. He was like, you should do a video that just says like, I hung wanted posters of myself all around Orlando, and then they ended up in a museum. And I was like, I like read the statement a couple times and I was like, that's fucking crazy.
It's crazy.
Like that was the first time in my life where I was like not photographing celebrities or like even things that people would say are like insane. I was like, that's fucking nuts. Like I was like, a man hung up wanted posters of himself and ended up with a gallery exhibit. Like that's fucking crazy.
It's awesome. Like honestly, yeah.
And like that is cool, but I think again, just to pinpoint that or like go back to that thing of like, I don't feel like I don't want to say the severity of those things. Severity is the wrong word, but like I don't feel really how big those things are a lot of the time, and I don't know what that is. Like I don't know what that links back to. Maybe it's some of the childhood. Maybe it's like being like neurodivergent. I don't fucking know. Like it's the thing of like the attention thing. Like where did that come from? I don't know. I like attention. But like beyond that, I'm like, I don't know. I just like the buzz. Like
I think it's good to have a third party to be like, hey, have you thought of doing it this? And viral's not something that I've ever gone like, oh, let's go viral.
Yeah, no, me too. I don't care.
I like this. I do. I like this. I like the fact that, sure, I think I've now separated my brain's part of it. It's the conversations that I'm so happy to be back and doing. And I love this. So for me to sit there and go, oh, I can't wait to make this go viral because of this, I'm not going to think that way.
Yeah.
Because I'm in love with something. I'm not the one thinking outside the box to go, yeah, but I see it this way. I have people reaching out to me saying that, and I go, oh, shit, homework. Okay, I guess we could do that.
Yeah.
But where does that now disconnect me from what I love? And I think that's where my brain goes. It's like one of those things. Like it's like, I want to keep doing what I love, and it's your stories that I want to put out and have other people love.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I love these stories. I mean, honestly, it's crazy. Like this is going to be awesome. Like I'm really excited about this episode. I really am. We're about to hit an hour.
Nice.
How crazy is that?
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Go through it.
Let's do this.
Final parting words.
Final parting words, but I also want you to promote yourself as well.
Sure.
So final parting words, and then where can everybody find you after that?
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I think my parting words are just keep at things. I think a thing that like I've just been like trying to share online or just with people in general is just like do the silly thing that's in your brain. Maybe it's recording goofy videos on TikTok. I don't really do that, but like, not that I'm above it. I definitely have made them, but yeah, it could literally be hanging up wanted posters of yourself. Like, do that thing. Don't be afraid. Like, just trust the process of wherever things are going, and that's easier said than done. I'm partially trusting the process.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I don't know. I think those would be parting words. It's just like do the thing that's like ridiculous, like putting wanted posters of yourself all over the city because you never know. You might end up in a museum.
It's so crazy to me. Yeah.
Like, so just fucking go for it. But yeah, people can find me on Instagram. I just redid my website. All my I'm not quite finished with it, but you can still get a good idea of my work. Everything is just I am David Lawrence. IAMDAVID LAWRENCE. I'm DavidLawrence.com. And yeah, I currently have an installation or an exhibit at the Orlando Museum of Art of 20 different signs that are all of cell phone photos that I've taken, and then I have put some phrases around them. Like there's a photo of a dirty pillow that I found on the ground, and the caption underneath it says, "Do you think my parents are proud?" And there's a photo that I took of a car crash, where like you literally like see like just a decimated car on the side of the road. You see firefighters and like EMTs or whatever, like kind of excavating this scene. And all the caption says is this how you want to spend your last day on Earth? And some of them are like funny. Some of them like there's a self-portrait of me with a banana on my head, and then it just says like, "You've got a banana on your head, man."
So you're gonna make that banana go viral. There you go. I saw that. I was like, awesome. Yeah.
Well, this is a different one. I haven't shared this
so now
online.
the new banana. Okay, so now there's
yeah.
the new banana.
So some of them are just goofy.
But stay goofy, because if you take this shit too seriously.
Yeah.
Like, the idea of this was like, well, I'm going to get I'm going to get to the point. I'm going to get serious. I didn't want to be a fucking textbook autism, podcast at all. That's the whole point, is destroy the acronyms for now. Let's just talk about our lives and where our brains have gone to get us where we are today.
That'd be a good T-shirt, though. Yeah. Textbook autism.
That's what it is. Like, everything is textbook autism.
Or like
there's so many.
Your next indie pop punk album. Textbook autism.
But I mean, everybody is just like, thank God for what you're talking about, because it's just people's stories. Yeah. You could go on TikTok, Instagram, and you could find the people. So did you know that so-and-so tells you that you're getting not enough dopamine in the brain for this?
Yeah.
My fucking brain, I'm drifting already. Yeah. I'm going somewhere. I'm like, well, that would be interesting. What if I not take that and bring it to my podcast and go, hey, so the dopamine shit, I don't know.
Yeah.
And talk about it. So I appreciate the fact that you had no idea how we were going to go with this podcast. You came in completely naked, jumped into the deep end and went, here I am, I'm in the water. And I was like, okay, good, we're swimming, let's go. And I thank you for that. Yeah, that's definitely how I do this. And that's how I do this, because people are like,
type of stuff too,
yeah,
for sure.
Like, because this is where the genuine shit's going to come out of our hearts and our brains. And I think it's awesome. So I thank you. It is amazing to see you again.
You as well.
I am so proud you have kept up with everything.
Yeah.
It is seriously like
staying alive.
Yeah. Staying alive.
Thriving, even though my brain tells me I'm not most of the time. So yeah.
That is like our tagline, if you will. It's proudly autistic, thriving always, right?
Amazing.
It's like or wired different, thriving always.
Incredible.
Proudly autistic. So
Amazing.
Yeah, but it is like, we just want to thrive. We want to thrive more than anything. So thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, we're gonna turn on again, because I have a feeling people are gonna be like, get him back on, man. He's funny as shit. And let's not take it too seriously. Let's keep loving it. So, dude, thank you again.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Hell yeah, that was fun. That was super chill.